Today we're working on this 2000 Honda Accord with a 2.3 liter engine. It was brought in with a low power complaint. During our test driving, we noticed we couldn't accelerate past 30 miles an hour and we couldn't rev above 2,500 RPM. So after doing a couple tests on a few sensors, we started leaning towards maybe a back pressure issue. So what we're doing is we've plugged in an in-cylinder pressure transducer, cylinder number 4. We've grounded out our spark plug so we don't fry our coil, and we put a sync probe on that spark plug wire. We're going to now start it and monitor our back pressure on the picoscope. Okay, so now we are running, and you can see that on channel A, I have selected the pressure transducer from our drop-down menu up here. We're on a range up to 100 PSI. And on channel B, you can see that we're on plus or minus 5 volts, and we're just getting this nice spike to tell us when our spark is happening. So we're worried about our exhaust pulses here, so we're gonna be focusing on this section right here. And you've noticed I've dropped down a cursor on the 0 line so I can see where 0 pressure is. Anything below that line is gonna be a vacuum. Anything above that line is going to be a pressure. So currently at idle, according to this top line right here, we're sitting at 2.49 PSI. Specification for the majority of engines out there is about 1 to 1.5 PSI at idle for back pressure. So we're already a little higher than what we want to be. So what we're going to do now is we're going to raise the RPM to about 2,000 and hold it and see what happens to that back pressure. We should still be staying somewhere around the 3 to 4 range. Let's find out. So holding it at about 2,000 RPM, we're already up to 12, 13 PSI on that back pressure. So this is proof that we are dealing with a plugged cat or something in the exhaust that's causing a restriction. So that is one way that you can find that. I think what we might do on this engine as just one more piece of evidence or proof that we are dealing with a catalytic converter is we might go ahead and pull this O2 sensor out right here. That's easy to get to, and try running the engine with it out, which will give the exhaust another route to escape from the engine. And if that improves our running performance, even though it's going to be loud, we'll know for sure that we're dealing with that catalytic converter.